What's up everybody, this is Linda and welcome back to Radical Punch. This year's first episode is going to be about startups in Berlin. Right now everybody is talking about the startup scene in Berlin. CNN calls Germany's capital the poor but sexy startup hub, highlighting online platforms like SoundCloud, which is to Berlin what location-based social network Foursquare is to New York. The Wired also calls Berlin as very promising for the tech scene. And TechCrunch even wrote, "London is going to be pissed, but we prefer Berlin for startups." And if you think Radical Punch didn't check that out, you must be out of your mind. So we had a few questions and we wanted to know which cities are actually the top startup locations in Germany, and we also wanted to know who is actually investing in the startups. So we were searching for some statistics and found some data on the online platform StartUps.de. It's a platform where you can log in and register your own startup so that you can be found in the directory. So we scraped the data with Needlebase and we refined it with Google Refine. We used Mike Bostock's D3 library to visualize the data we found on StartUps.de and saw that these are the cities where the most startups were founded over the last 5 years. What you can also see is that the number of startups has actually decreased over the last 5 years in all of these cities. Now again, we are using the statistics of Startups.de, and like I said, it's a platform where people can register their own platforms. So taking that into consideration, there might be some data missing. We also wanted to find out who is actually the most active investor in Berlin over the last 5 years and in which companies do the most active investors actually invest in. As you can see, the network seems to be quite dense. Some of the most active investors were partially investing in the same companies, so we actually found 2 different clusters in the network. Dealing with this data set, we realized that this topic is actually more complex than we have thought at the beginning. We now have actually more questions than before. For example, one thing that we were wondering is whether there are other more complete data sets for startups in Berlin that also include, for example, the amounts of investments. Another question that we had was what are the conditions for startups in general? How easy is it actually to start a business in Germany? The Berlin startup scene might be booming right now, but in how far does that compare to other cities like Tallinn, Prague or Warsaw? Is the Berlin startup scene just a PR coup? Is it possible that we're just victims of this huge marketing campaign and there's actually other cities that are more active when it comes to startups? These are the questions that we were wondering about, and we're looking forward to your feedback and maybe even your contributions. And if you want to hit us up, contact us via twitter.com/radicalpunch, and see you soon.